Joint Action Committee of SSANU and NASU have threatened to begin an indefinite strike in the federal government if the federal government does not pay 4 months withheld salaries within 3 weeks. The unions are also demanding improved remuneration, earned allowances, and implementation of 2009 agreement. The government has previously invoked the no work, no pay policy during a prolonged 2022 strike, despite President Tinubu's approval of the salary payment. Please take note of this part on July 18, 2024. Now, no payments have been made yet. The union's ultimatum starts on September 17, 2024, and failure to meet their demands may lead to a strike. I would like to get you on this one first, Mufasa, quickly.
No, well, it's an agreement.
Yes.
You know, they said agreement is agreement, and if there's an agreement, you are meant to, meet up with, the terms and conditions of that agreement. And of course, you should understand where ASU, have, their own way of trying to force the hands of government. I really do not blame them, because you also agree with me that the educational sector in this country has been marooned in the wilderness of abject neglect. It seems as though, government, they are not interested in public institutions anymore. Perhaps because most of them, are the owners of these private universities and, higher institutions. And for that singular reason, they don't really care about the public institution. And for me, that is a recipe for disaster. Now, ASU, they are not asking for too much. What they are saying is what you have agreed on, you have to fulfill that agreement. And I really feel very, very sorry for the educational system, especially for students who are currently in the universities, because when you want to place it side by side with the current economic reality, nobody wants to stay a day extra in school, because for every day, every week that you stay extra in school, you have to also add the cost of your rent and all of those things. So it's a chain reaction of the effect that whatever strike that the union want to embark upon we have on the students. So I want to appeal, because what we operate in this country is we need to beg the government. We have become beggarly for what ordinarily is supposed to be our entitlement, our due and proper.
Remember that the government has a no work, no pay policy.
That is a policy. It's not new. No work, no pay. They apply it in Europe and America. But what is the state? What is the state of affairs over there? When you apply no work, no pay, you must also understand that whatever you have agreed upon, when you fail to meet up with that agreement, there has to be consequences. So you expect me to be working in a toxic working condition. You expect me to be working as a slave to a system where a counselor who just happened to be a counselor just by your primary school leaving certificate is earning over 500,000 naira.
All right.
And a lecturer who has burned the candles, has gone through blood and sand, will be earning 150,000. So how do you reconcile both?
All right,
so I expect them not to speak out. It is.
I'm not sure your thoughts on this.
Unfortunate.
Well, just on the last, to pick from the last one, the job descriptions and the industries are not same. But what it takes to become a counselor is more expensive in Nigeria than
what is it to become a lecturer?
Than what it takes to be.
What do you mean by it's more expensive?
To become a lecturer?
Yes, for you to be employed as a lecturer in Nigeria is your certificate. You don't need to campaign. You don't need to buy rice. You don't need to sew uniform for people. You don't need to give.
But even that certificate, Master, I know you're trying to be sarcastic, but even that certificate, to get that certificate is a lot.
See, I know where I'm going. So the councillors spend more money to be in office than what the lecturer will spend, and the time of their services are short. So they need to get as much as so that they can have a better life after their tenure. That is by the way. I want to feel that at this point, I've always advocated that strike is not the best option for educational system. It's actually affecting the young people. It's not a good thing. They have their plans, they have their future. When there is strike, their future tends to be affected, and it's not a good one. Now, again, I will always speak on the issue of agreement. It's a moral discussion. When you have terms with someone, you try and keep to it, you know, and I want to request, just like my brother have come to understand that in this country, you just have to plead and beg, because the government is not threatened by protests. They are not threatened by strike. All they are interested is what they want to do. So for you to have them do what they need to do, you just have to plead with them and request. So I'm joining to request from both ways, the ASU, all the union that are threatening a strike right now. Let it not just be not because some of your members have not returned back to Nigeria and the school is resuming, so want to use it as a tactic to hold brief for them until they return back. And some who have not rounded up their business transactions, you know, it's a union, so they want to protect each other's interests. But if it is for the purposes of government failing in her responsibilities, I think it's okay. But I want to encourage that government should do the needful, and then the unions too should understand that it's not about the government, it's about the student. Because your strike is not affecting government. Your strike is affecting the student. So if there are other ways to see that these students are not affected, it would be a wonderful one. You know, so I want to encourage that this union should be sincere in their decisions.
What other ways would that be? Because it's been a long time since the government agreed to make payments after they talked about the no work, no pay. Now they have agreed that we'll pay you. And these people have been waiting and payments have not been done. So what other measures are we looking at except strike after dialogue?
No. You see, if even the university system will not celebrate when students say they are not coming to class.
Of course.
Yes, I know what the student will face. Of course, some of them will miss their marks. Some may suffer carryover.
True.
And all of that. So sometimes what happens in the university system, for me, sometimes it's good what government is also doing to them, because that's the only people that can also pay them back.
When you say it's good what government is doing, what exactly are you referring to? Because there's so much the government is doing.
We have bad lecturers. We have bad people working in most of those unions who face that they are the alpha and the omegas in the life of the student. So some way know God has a way of paying people back. But that's not saying that what government is doing to them is the best. But I'm only saying that in any position that you occupy, also consider that those students are human beings. You know, the way you want government to see you as human beings, see those students as also human beings.
Right.
So as the school is resuming, let us understand that if we go on strike now, it's those same students that will suffer, not the government.
Thank
you.
So
if there is a way...
Thank you, Ambassador. Yes, if there's a way they can do it without affecting the students.